Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever met someone who is extremely smart, full of ideas, always giving advice, always explaining how the world works, but somehow their own life isn't moving forward? Maybe that person is someone you know. Or maybe, quietly, that person is you. This is a story about intelligence, potential, and the uncomfortable truth that being smart is not the same as being successful. There was a young man named Arjun. From a very early age, everyone knew he was different. Teachers praised him, classmates admired him, relatives compared their children to him. He understood things quickly. He spoke confidently. He could analyze problems deeply. When others struggled to understand lessons, Arjun explained them with ease. People said, "This boy will go far in life." Arjun believed that too. As years passed, Arjun grew even smarter. He read books, watched lectures, learned theories about success, psychology, money, and life. He knew the right quotes. He knew the right mindset. He could clearly explain why people fail and what they should do to succeed. But there was one strange thing. Nothing in his own life was changing. After finishing school, Arjun had big plans. He wanted a meaningful career, financial freedom, respect, and a sense of purpose. But instead of taking action, he kept preparing. He told himself he was waiting for the perfect opportunity. He believed that with his intelligence, success would naturally arrive. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. Arjun still lived in the same routine. Same excuses. Same comfort zone. Whenever someone asked, "Why haven't you started yet?" he had a smart answer ready. "The timing isn't right. I'm still researching. I don't want to rush into something average. I have higher standards." And people nodded, impressed by how logical he sounded. But deep inside, Arjun felt frustrated. He watched others move ahead. People who were less intelligent, less knowledgeable, and less articulate than him were building careers, starting businesses, and creating stable lives. He told himself, "They're just lucky. They don't think deeply like I do. They're settling for less." But late at night, when no one was watching, a heavy question echoed in his mind. If I'm so smart, why am I not successful? One evening, Arjun met an old teacher who had once taught him in school. The teacher looked at him kindly and asked, "So, what are you working on these days?" Arjun explained his ideas, his plans, his thoughts. He spoke passionately for several minutes. The teacher listened patiently, then smiled and asked a simple question. "What have you actually done with all this thinking?" Arjun went silent. The teacher continued, "Intelligence is a gift, but it's also a trap. Smart people often get stuck in their own minds. They think so much that they forget to move." Those words hit Arjun hard. The teacher explained, "Success doesn't come from knowing the right answers. It comes from taking imperfect action. Many smart people fail not because they lack ability, but because they wait for certainty in a world that rewards courage." Arjun realized something painful. He had been using his intelligence as a shield. Every excuse sounded logical. Every delay felt justified. His mind protected him from failure by preventing him from trying. He was afraid. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of starting and failing. Afraid of discovering that intelligence alone wasn't enough. From that day, Arjun began observing successful people more carefully. He noticed something surprising. They weren't always the smartest in the room. They didn't overthink every step. They made mistakes, learned quickly, and kept moving. They acted first and adjusted later. Meanwhile, Arjun had been waiting for a perfect plan that never came. One morning, Arjun made a small decision. Not a grand plan. Not a life-changing announcement. Just one small action. He started working on one idea he had been thinking about for years. At first, it felt uncomfortable. He didn't feel confident. He didn't feel smart. He felt clumsy and unsure. And that scared him. But something else happened too. He felt alive. For the first time, his mind wasn't spinning endlessly. It was focused. Each small action gave him feedback. Each mistake taught him something no book ever had. Weeks passed. Progress was slow. Some days were discouraging. His intelligence didn't magically solve everything. In fact, sometimes it made things harder because he kept noticing what could go wrong. But now, instead of stopping, he moved forward anyway. Arjun slowly understood a powerful truth. Success is not a reward for intelligence. It is a reward for consistency. Smart people often believe they should succeed faster. When they don't, they quit early. They identify so strongly with being smart that struggling feels like failure. But struggle is part of the process for everyone. Intelligence can help you understand the map, but it cannot walk the road for you. As months turned into a year, Arjun's life began to change. Not dramatically. Not overnight. But steadily. He gained confidence, not from thinking, but from doing. His self-respect grew because he was finally keeping promises to himself. People around him noticed the change. "You seem different," they said. Arjun smiled, because now he knew the difference. He stopped proving how smart he was and started proving how committed he could be. If you're listening to this and thinking, "That sounds like me," then listen carefully. Being smart is not the problem. Waiting is. Overthinking is. Using intelligence to avoid discomfort is. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. Your ideas don't matter if they stay in your head. Your knowledge doesn't matter if it never turns into action. Your intelligence doesn't matter if it keeps you frozen. You don't need more learning. You don't need more planning. You don't need more confidence. You need movement. Even messy movement. Even imperfect steps. Even actions that don't fully make sense yet. Because clarity comes after action, not before it. Remember this, intelligence should be a tool, not a hiding place. Use it to solve problems as you move forward, not to explain why you're standing still. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel certain. Stop waiting to feel special. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start even if you feel unsure. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that the moment you stopped trying to be the smartest person in the room, and started being the most consistent, was the moment your life truly began moving forward. If this message spoke to you, let it be a reminder. You're smart. Now it's time to be brave.